This is why you go way out in the woods. Except, of course, there's always somebody that comes along. Okay, we're going to try going into the Lost Ponds Trailhead and camp there. Hopefully we won't get stuck on a narrow road we can't turn around on. Alright, so here's where we're going. Up that road. This is awesome. This is wonderful. We'll take these. Well, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Taking a hike for a mile. It's still pretty chilly out. It's about 55. The bugs haven't really come alive yet. And the boys are staying on the trail, which keeps the mosquitoes from being stirred up. I don't know what they're doing. They had a great big jackrabbit come out of the woods right next to the trailer, and I tried to get the camera set up, but when I did, he ran away. But this is the Adirondacks. Wildlife and wilderness everywhere. I don't think we'll see anything on the hike because of the dogs, but we're marking our trail so we know how to get back. Alright, I'll bring you back if anything happens that's interesting. Adirondack pitcher plants. They're a predaceous plant. They eat bugs. Pretty neat. We're at Lost Pond. It's a great big pond in the middle of nowhere. We're a little late to see wildlife since it's almost 8:30 now. But it's a typical Adirondack bog pond. It's just there's so much water in the Adirondacks that you have ponds and streams everywhere. And this is just one of them. This is another thing you see in the Adirondacks. This is a really old stump. And it's because most of the Adirondacks were logged, and they logged in the winter with sleds, with horses. And so it's cut high because of the snow that was around it. And you see a lot of these old stumps, and they're from the 1920s to 1950s. Probably even earlier than that. When did they turn the Adirondacks into park. But some of these areas, you know, they turned it into a park, but a lot of it was private land. So it was continued logged. But that tree's probably 100 years old. It's probably from the 1910, 1920, somewhere in there. Just tidbits about the Adirondacks. See, there are a lot of these stumps in this patch of forest. There's another one over there. And another one right behind me here. And there's a great big one right there that's covered with vegetation, and a whole bunch over there. So this was heavily logged at one time. Probably had really big trees. And we're going down to the pond again. It's a pretty neat pond. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of evidence of old time logging. And this is probably one of them. Here's a tree, it's got a saw cut in it. They were cutting it up into logs. And who knows what happened. Maybe a snowstorm came along and they had to get out of here. Or never came back for it. But there's a log from a long time ago. Great big old tree. And I think it's just cool to find these things all through the Adirondacks. So, more trivia. All these blueberries, and none of them are ripe yet. I really came at the wrong time. There are a ton of blueberries out here. Anybody watching this, do not come in August, okay? Don't come and eat my blueberries. Once in a while, there's a blueberry that's ripe. Here's one. There's just one. I could have put that in my pancakes this morning. All right. This is just one big blueberry patch. All the way up the hill. These are nothing but blueberry bushes. Low bush blueberries. Little tiny purple pieces of sugar. Nothing tastes as good as these do. Just awesome. This whole thing here. It would take 5 people a week to harvest all the blueberries on here. If the birds didn't get there first. Pretty impressive. Fun, fun.